Hey there, everyone. I'm just getting some movement in my body after sitting for most of the day. Yeah. So who's breathing right now? Just while we're waiting for everyone to jump on board. We're just going to do some breathing. So breathing in life, because our breath is our life force. Our breath fuels our life forces, I should say. And every time we take a breath in, we have the opportunity to really breathe in more life. So just while we're waiting for everyone to jump on, how about we just, on your in-breath, start breathing in life. Start breathing into your life force. Start breathing into your essence. Breathing in. And on your exhale, letting go of everything that doesn't support you. So just while we're waiting for everyone to pop in, just breathing in your life force, breathing in your essence, really giving to yourself today. Hey, Prue. Great to see you. We're just going to start off because I'm, just moving a bit of energy around right now. Breathing into our essence, breathing into our life force, bringing in everything that the nature and the world and the breath can give us, breathing that in on the in-breath. And then on your out-breath, just letting everything that doesn't support that fall out. So we're just breathing in life, energy, chi, goodness of the world, the community, everything that works for you, breathing in more of it. And then on your exhale, letting go of everything that doesn't work. Everything that you're feeling right now, maybe you've had a busy day and are just feeling, stuck or a bit anxious or something like that, just letting that go on your out-breath. So breathing in life. And on your out-breath, letting go of everything like that, everything unlike that, because I don't know if you know or you understand that 70% of your toxins leave your body every time you breathe out. So that's a great place to start in your own well-being every day. Hi, everyone who's coming on. Just inviting you to take a breath, settle in, because this is going to be an amazing 1-hour session. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my favourite topics. We're breathing in life. And on your exhale, letting go of everything unlike that. Yeah. Breathing in and breathing out. And for those who aren't familiar with the power of your own breath, that's just something you can do consciously every day. Is if you're walking around, walking your dog, driving to work, every time you're feeling anxious, breathing in more life, letting go of whatever it is that's in your body at the moment, and really tapping into that. I know Prue understands that because she's a fellow colleague of mine in Breathwork. So how are you doing, Prue, today? So just put a few comments in if you've jumped on. I'd love to know who's here and where you're from, where you're calling in from today or you're zoning in from today while we're breathing. Breathing and letting go of everything that doesn't support us. Breathing in and letting go of everything that doesn't support us. Such a powerful tool is our breath. Yeah. Okay, well, we might get started. My name is Jenny Lee Taylor. I have a business called Breathe and Be You, and I've been in this business for about 5 years. I've been training one way or another in breathwork since 2012, and breathwork has been in my life since I was 25, which is about 30 years ago. If you can do the maths, you know how old I am now. And along the way in my life, I don't know if anyone's read my story in More Women's Rising, but along the way, I started out whole and complete, and ended up, after a series of events and just life in general really coming across my doorstep, realised at some point in time that I'd lost contact with who I really was, lost contact with my essence. And, I sought out breathwork to help me with that. And breathwork can offer such a if you haven't guessed, that's my main modality. I work with people who feel like they've lost contact with who they really are, maybe are really, high achievers in life, love to do things, give lots of themselves away, like to go, and really end up losing parts of themselves or losing contact with self along the way. So there's the sorts of people I work with, mainly because it's my own story, and my main tool is breathwork. And breathwork offers such a range of amazing outcomes for people. And today we're going to focus on one of those areas of breathwork that I'm really, really passionate about, and that is about becoming whole and complete through reclaiming the lost parts of your soul. And because it's a big part of my own story, and I'm going to share that a bit down the track. But what I wanted to ask you as a group was, hi Steph, Vancouver. Wow, that's amazing. I have no idea what time it is over there. I've got Maxine here from Bustleton over in WA, and I know Prue's from Melbourne, I think. And I always get confused between Melbourne and Adelaide with you, Prue. So welcome. And we're doing becoming whole through soul part return. It's my favourite topic in breathwork. And I wanted to ask you around how you would describe your soul. How would you describe it? If you want to pop it in the comments. Because we really come into this world really whole and complete as a soul. Come into this life, and I don't know where your belief system sits, but our soul comes into our body. We're ready to live in our natural state of our higher self, and fully connected, fully in love and joy, fully in all the amazing qualities that come with a whole and complete soul. And we end up in this physical body in this world. And along the way, and it really starts in the womb, along the way we get invited to be, yeah, Prue, thanks Melbourne. We get invited to be something less than desirable than that, less than being fully connected to our whole self. And it could have started in the womb around how we were born. We might have struggled with our birth. Birth memory is something else that comes up in breathwork. Then we're born, and then we, start to learn about the world and figure out, what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do as humans. And then we, we go to school and have authority come into play. And again, there's rules put on us. And, our soul just wants to be free and wild and, joyful and all those things. And then we, there's this constriction that happens, and we start growing, and sometimes we have accidents that affect our physical bodies, but also affect our emotional and psychic body as well. Hello Lucy White, hello Missy, how are you going? Tribal, yeah, the soul could be described as tribal. So just popping in the comments how you would describe the soul, because we're going to come up for a definition just for the purpose of this talk that I'm giving through this perspective. So so we're going through life, and trauma happens. Sometimes we get treated not in the best way. Life happens, we meet our partners, all this sort of stuff. And my own story is that I've always been a bit of a wild woman inside, and a bit of a rebel, and a bit of a wanting to do different things. And I found that, life just chipped away at me, and it wasn't until later in my life that I woke up to that. So my definition for soul, for this purpose of this talk, is it's that really the non-physical essence of who we are. It's that part of ourselves that really animates our body in this life. So, without a soul, we'd just be kind of like robots, right? We'd be going through life, not feeling, not seeing, not experiencing, not, having life as a full experience. So for the purpose of this talk, soul is whole and luminous. Yeah, absolutely, Prue, absolutely. Hi, Red. I think it says Red Nicole. Yeah. Oh, I know who you are. Nicole, how are you going? yeah, so for the purpose of this, the soul is the essence of who you are. It's the part of you that animates you in this life. And, you know, what I found that sometimes as we go through life, we're so busy that we don't actually recognize that we're losing parts of ourselves along the way. Yeah, so, hi. So what are some of the symptoms? How do you know if you've lost parts of your soul along the way? Well, you might be feeling a sense of feeling incomplete. You know, you just can't quite put your finger on it, but everything you do just doesn't measure up. You know, there's something missing all the time. You might be feeling lost, indecisive, aimless. Maybe you feel like there's something wrong with you, like you've never belonged. Hi, Leanne. Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm glad. I was looking forward to talking today too. Sometimes, what are the other symptoms of losing your soul parts along the way? Maybe you're returning to a person or a behavior over and over and over and over again, and you don't know why, and you know it's not good for you, yet you keep doing it. Anyone had that happen? Maybe you feel like there's a dead spot inside. You know, I work with a lot of people and they just come to me and feel, you know, I just feel empty. You know, I can't seem to fill it up. Maybe you feel like you aren't quite the same person after a particular event happened. It could have been an accident. It could have been a trauma. I had one person tell me that they felt like they left a part of themselves on the birthing table when they gave birth. Maybe you have the symptoms of addictions and fears, or, you know, anxiety and dread and panic and all those things. All those things can be, as someone who works with people in this area, all those things can be symptoms of, or, you know, an indication that you could need to do some soul housekeeping in terms of bringing your soul parts back. And the beauty is that the breath always knows. So the premise behind this work and soul retrieval and breathwork and becoming whole is that when we experience trauma, a part of our vital essence separates from us in order to survive by escaping the full impact of the pain. And so, you know, I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but, you know, you're getting this jolt to the nervous system, and you go into a part of you feels like it goes and doesn't come back. Yeah, so that's kind of the premise. There's lots of within the topic of soul retrieval, and just to know that towards the end of this talk, we're actually going to do a visualization to go and reclaim a part of yourself. So I encourage you to stick around for that, or if you can't, put #replay and come back to it at some point in time. So under the banner of soul retrieval, there's lots of different ways that our soul part leaves us. And one of them is through soul gifting. So if you're happy to share in the comments, just let me know if you felt like you've ever given a part of yourself to someone, like your first love, or you left a part of yourself in a place that you really didn't want to leave, or something like that. I'm just going to check my comments on my phone, because I think there's a bit of a lag. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if you ever felt like you've gifted a part of yourself. And it happens a lot in love and relationships, especially us young girls when we're, you know, 14 or 15, starting to, you know, who's ever had that boy that you just totally fell in love with, and you felt like you wanted to give your heart to him. In fact, you probably got one of those necklaces back in the day that had half a heart, and you know, you shared this half a heart each. I don't know if they were a thing these days, but I know they were back then. Or you left a part of yourself somewhere, or sometimes it even happens when you've got a loved one who's passing, and you really, feel the pain of losing them, and you want a part of yourself to go with them, or you want to have them leave a part of themselves with you. Yeah, Maxine, in many circumstances. Yeah, it's so I can give examples in my life of one of the things that a big realization actually in my own marriage recently was that, and I wrote about this in my story in Wild Woman Rising Summit, was literally, I woke up one morning about 6 months ago and had this epiphany, and I must have been breathing deeply in my sleep. I had this epiphany that that my husband had gifted a part of himself to me when we first got together. This is even before we were married, and all this time I'd been carrying that with me, and he was missing it. So when you think, oh, okay, well, it makes sense because you want to feel whole and complete, and except for the fact that gifting a part of yourself to others doesn't actually serve them, because that soul part doesn't belong to them, and you're also lost a part of yourself. So you're got this little chip out of your psyche or your soul essence that is now missing. And it sounds good in theory. I want, that movie with Tom Cruise and that other girl that I can't think of. He says, you complete me, or she says, you complete me. Well, it sounds great in theory, but absolutely from a soul perspective, it does not work. I'll give you an analogy type example. Sally's 14 years old. She meets the boy of her dreams and gives a part of her heart to him. And his name is John, for example. At some point in time, Sally's so connected to him that he starts getting, he's a young man and he's got all this stuff going on, and he really doesn't want a full-time girlfriend. He just wanted to, maybe have a kiss behind the school canteen or something like that. And is anyone actually resonating with this? Yes, Stephanie, more than once, in relation to gifting a part of your soul. And so what happens is that relationship doesn't last. So they both grow into adulthood. They start getting more serious about their relationships. So Sally is now going into a relationship with a part of herself that's missing, without a part of herself. So she's not fully in a relationship from a soul or essence perspective. And then John, who's got this part that doesn't belong to him, is taking that into a relationship with another person. So he's got extra than he needs. So that you can see, if you keep doing that over your lifetime, there's this whole Sally Ann, oh, you know me. Yeah. There's this whole mixing of soul parts, and if you do that, if you're the sort of person who does that in love, when they're in love and gives a part of themselves to someone, and the love doesn't last, then you end up doing it, and you get to an age where you finally find the person you want to marry, and you're not whole and complete as a person, and they don't know you as that, and then they might have baggage from someone else. Relationships is a great way to understand the soul collection as well, how we collect parts of each other and that kind of thing. It becomes really, really messy. And until you really understand this and start to do the work on yourself, you get to see how, codependencies form and all that sort of stuff. And once you start chipping away at your soul, which is what happened to me, not necessarily soul gifting, you start trying to fill that empty place up with everything else, work, things, bucket lists, activities, all that sort of stuff. So the other side of soul gifting is actually soul theft, where someone comes in and steals something from you, particularly in relationship, where male energy can pull on the female energy for softness and intuition, and females can just collect male energies over time. So there's this soul giving and soul theft and that kind of thing. And I did want to make one really important point, that I am building on the work of Diane Burgess, who came to Australia. She's actually Australian, and delivered this material at a breathwork conference back in the 80s or something like that, or maybe to a group of breathworkers in Australia in the 80s. So I'm really, really honoured and humbled to have come across this work of hers. And also my current teacher, Robin Finance, who has basically taught me everything I know about the topic, and also allowed me to be in practice working with other people and building on that knowledge. So just wanted to recognise those two people in humbleness. Yeah, so anyone out there feel like, you know, there could be some mixing going on where they've left parts of themselves and maybe collected parts of their lovers or relationships along the way. So that's one part, soul gifting, soul theft. And we're going to do a bit of a work around that a little bit later. The next thing that can happen with, you know, how souls split off and how you become less than whole and complete is a thing called soul invasion or soul mix. So imagine yourself in your auric field, you know, going through life, and someone comes in and purposely shoots you, or you know, it's and totally unexpected. Like it just feels like it's come out of left field. You feel whacked. There's a real it feels like a psychic attack almost. And you know, it could be in an intruder that's come into your home. It could be an intruder that's just coming into your auric space that you really don't want to be there. It could be an overbearing parent. It could be a cranky grandma that shouted at you for no particular reason when you were 4. All those sorts of things that really, it could be an accident that just came out of a car accident. You know, someone swiped you in a car. All those things that really give you a jolt to your nervous system, they're kind of like what we call like a soul invasion. You know, I've had worked with people who typically it's longer, more sustained periods of attack from an overbearing parent, you know. And let's face it, that's out in the world, unfortunately. And that's when parts of us, we can, you know, the energy from that person can actually invade our body. And they actually pull away and go away with a happy smile because they've got what they've wanted. And you're left with this energy in your body that doesn't belong with you as a soul energy. So that invades and then can mix with yours if you don't understand what's happening for you and breathe out the emotions or have the emotions to, you know, expel that from your body. Yeah, so they're kind of the main areas. The soul split itself is what comes up mostly in my work, where just a part of you will split off for whatever reason and seek refuge, because remember, the premise is that when we experience trauma, a vital part of our essence separates from us in order to survive, so we don't have to experience the full impact of the pain. So it's been a huge part of my own journey. And what I found was, when I really started working on myself, and we don't actually know it's happening, I reckon, at the time. Well, I didn't. And you know, I ended up in a crisis point, and most people I work with are at this crisis point where they've gone, you know, just my life's not working. I'm starting to behave in ways that I knew weren't congruent with the person I really was. You know, I think the scenario when I started doing this work on myself was I was well paid in a great job. I was actually doing work that I liked, and I knew that there was something else that I wanted to do. I was going to the gym 3 days a week. I was studying breathwork. I was also finishing off my master's degree. I was squeezing in my bucket list. Well, I'm not calling it my bucket list, my passion list, because I've always been the sort of person who's been quite spontaneous. I love to do long distance walking trips, all that sort of stuff. And what I found was none of it was actually fulfilling me. None of it was just, it was like I was trying to cram it in, like I was reaching out and, you know, clawing at the world, trying to fill up this space that wasn't full anymore, which to me is really sad when I look back on it now, because I've always been that sort of person who loves life, just loves getting out there, loves variety, loves spontaneousness, all that sort of stuff. But at some point in time, it flipped into a real addiction and need to keep going and keep filling it up. And all the while I knew that there was just something missing inside. And yeah, if you read my story, you kind of get the gist of what I mean. Yeah, so I don't know, give me some feedback, peeps. What's happening? Is how are you feeling about hearing all this? Is there, and I don't know if the comments are coming up in real time or not. Just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, can't see it. I don't know, give me some feedback, peeps. Oops. There we go. Anyway, I'll keep going. Yeah, thanks, Leanne. I'm really passionate about this work. So let's see. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to share with you, I guess, that it doesn't necessarily have to be one thing as well. Over time, this fragmenting of the soul just means that you end up, yeah, you're feeling a bit emotional. Yeah, if this brings up stuff for you, just keep breathing it out, right? Just breathing out on the exhale what is coming up for you, and breathing in, feeling whole. Yeah, over time, it just means you start operating at less than whole and complete. And did you know that you can actually lose 90% of your soul parts and still function in life? You know, have you ever heard of that term, the highly functional, dysfunctional person? Well, that was me. Highly, highly, highly functional. And not that I'm ambitious, but I just, you know, love to get into life. And like I said, it just ended up being this amazing overdoing, trying to fill up. I don't know if anyone's ever, two movies stick out in my mind that are relevant to this, what I'm trying to get across here. And one of them is Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if anyone loves Pirates of the Caribbean. Gender confusion, I'll get back to that in a minute, Maxine. Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Barbosa, their whole crew on that pirate ship sold their soul for, you know, the gold bullion. And there's this scene where he's drinking and he's talking to the leading lady and in the movie, and he's saying, you know, it doesn't matter what I do, I can't slake my thirst. It doesn't matter what I eat, I can't taste it. What I touch, I can't feel it. What I hear, I'm not really listening. What I see, I can't touch it. You know, that kind of thing. So there's this slake that can't be filled, this thirst that can't be measured, this thirst that can't be filled up. So that's what it kind of felt like to me at the end. It sounds a bit dramatic, doesn't it? But truly, that's what it was. That's what it felt like. And the other one is in the movie Joy. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie where she, as a 9-year-old, Joy, can't remember her last name, but she ended up being an American inventor, very famous, very wealthy woman. But when she was 9, her parents split up. And there's this tussle over who's going to have her and where she's going to go. And in the meantime, all of her, this creative, like she was building cities and I think she was, and country towns and things like that. She was, and all that got sort of disrupted and thrown and stomped on in this moment when her parents were fighting over where she should be going. And that was her soul splitting off. After that, she ended up being a person who, she was in her 30s and she had no job. She was a single mum. She was going nowhere, really unhappy. And one day she's reading to her daughter about cicadas and just had this major meltdown. And her 9-year-old child had come knocking on the door and going, okay, it's time for you to wake up. You need to invite me back home as a soul part. And from then on, she went and, like I said, became a rich woman. So they're sort of examples. Maxine, I'm curious about gender confusion. When I was a teenager, I didn't feel like I was female. Hope you don't mind me reading that out, Maxine. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I've recently come across this in breathwork, and soul retrieval comes up organically through the breath, because breathwork is a very self-responsible process. So it's really about me sitting for someone and holding the space for breath to have a conversation with your cellular memory around a particular issue that's going on in your world right now. And this came up. And yeah, it's really interesting because in this particular instance, a person was laying on the mat as a certain gender and then had a soul return of the opposite gender, which is really interesting. So I don't know, it can happen. I just, what happens on the mat is true for me. So I was witness to that. Who knows where that will take that person and what's happening around that. And it was a little different to, that concept of the feminine, masculine within. It was different to that. So it's definitely a part of them that went missing at a certain particular time. And this person has always felt like they were the opposite gender. So watch this space. Newsflash, I'm actually writing a book on this topic, and I was going to mention it later, but I'll mention it now that I'm writing a book called Becoming Whole, Soul Retrieval Through Breathwork, and I'm actually looking for 3 people over a period of 3 months to have 10 sessions each, specifically to call in all their missing soul parts. Now, you might be a person who's sitting there going, I don't know if that applies to me, yet I can tell you that I've had numerous soul parts, and it's actually a big part of my own healing that I didn't even know were gone, I might add, returned to me. And part of the book is going to be my story in that, and I've got this beautiful illustrator called Margot Brow, who's a local artist, and she's actually doing some really intimate work around my own personal story in that. So I'm looking for 3 people. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you. 3 people to come on board, and I guess, I want to create some case studies around it. I've got a whole heap of work that I've already done, but I really want to focus in on 3 people. Create some case studies. So I'm offering, as part of this summit, an opportunity for 3 people to do that over 10 sessions in a period June, July, August this year. So it'll be quite intensive, which is 3 months. There's probably once a week or once every couple of weeks. To do this work with me for that would normally cost $27.50, and I'm offering it to people for $1,500. Leanne, great, that'd be great. So as part of this, I'm going to put the links on. I really, because it's a really specific thing, and I'm only asking for 3 people, there'll be a bit of an interview process because I want to get some really good data for this case study for my book. So yeah, let's talk. So if you want to be part of that, you can direct message me through my business page, which is Breathe and Be You, and I'll put the links up later. So that's one part of my offer, and I'll go into the rest later. Lovely to see everyone in here. Yeah, and that person who is, the type of person I'm looking for is someone who really feels like there's parts of themselves that have been missing over time. Maybe you're you may have had some trauma, you may have, you know, just not feeling quite right, don't know where to go, can't put your finger on it type of thing. Feel like you've given away parts of yourself over the years, and really feeling quite less than in, you know, at a real essence level, I guess. Yeah. So that's exciting. So where are we? 3:35. Wow, that went quick. So what I'd like to do now is do a breath visualization just to give you a feel of it. And so we're not going to go too deep. So this is really about calling back something that a part of yourself that you may have gifted to someone through a visualization. Is that okay with everyone? If we do that? So you need to be in a sitting up or laying down position. It's fine, and just get comfortable. I'm just going to trust that everyone's doing this while I'm talking. Hi Jenny. Hi Jenny. Hi Deb. Yeah, so we're going to do a soul gift return visualization. So just getting comfortable in your chair right now, and just have a think about a relationship where you feel like you might have gifted a part of yourself to someone, or maybe if you don't have a relationship, maybe that you can tap into right now, maybe it's a place in the world. This particularly happens with people who immigrate to Australia. They feel like sometimes they've left a part of themselves in their home country. So just tapping into that place, shutting down your eyes and just bringing your awareness to your breath. So you've got this consciousness around breathing. Hey, Gabrielle, nice to see you. We're just about to start a soul gift return visualization. So just sort of bringing conscious awareness to your breath and tapping into that part of you that you feel like you gifted to someone in a relationship, and just feeling into you, just knowing, do you know where you were, what you were doing at the time, what age you were at the time, just really feeling into that and breathing around it. Hey Lucy, thanks. So what is it what energy do you feel like you gifted to this other person? Is it love? Is it attractiveness? Desirability, maybe? Something else? Just feel into what it is for you. And just make sure you're supported around you, that you feel comfortable. Maybe you've got a glass of water handy, maybe you've got a blanket handy or something. Just make yourself comfortable. Bring your awareness into your body. We're going to journey out to locate this part. So journeying back to locate this part of yourself that you gifted to another when you were however old you were when you... Staying with your conscious awareness of your breathing. Just allowing your body and breath system to find the essence of what you gifted to that significant other, or the place, wherever it is you are. Just following your breath to the age and time that you gifted that part of you to another. And just feel in your body at that point in time what you were doing. What were you feeling? What were you saying? What was happening around that specific point in time that you gave a part of yourself away? And just know that in this visualization, you're supported, being supported by the group here, you're being supported by me. Just knowing that the energy is really extending out over this group. So if anything's coming up, just breathing through it. Hey, Michelle, we're just starting into a visualization. We're locating a part of yourself that you may have gifted to someone else. So allow your breath to find the essence of what you gifted to that significant other. Following your breath to the age and time you gifted that part of yourself to someone else. What were you doing, feeling, thinking? And just surrender to the breath and connect to that other person who you gifted that part of you to. Go back to the exact moment when you can see where you were. Just keep breathing your conscious breath, normal breath, in and out through your nose. Now see the other person and just allow any emotions to arise. I'm trusting that you're not doing this while you're driving. If you are, please pull over to the side of the road. Feel your feelings as they arise. Take your time and just trusting your breath. Just feeling into if there's a reason why you needed to gift a part of yourself to them. What was happening? What was the reason you gifted yourself? Just allow yourself to get some insights into that. If anything's coming up, just breathing it out. Just check in to see if anything needs to be resolved around what was going on with you both. We're not going to go too deep today, so just, if there was, just allow the understanding of that there's something that needs to be resolved. And it's okay if we don't retrieve that soul gift today, if there's more work that needs to be done first. Let's keep breathing through it. As you are immersed in that space, check in to see if anything needs to happen before you ask for that gift to be returned to you. Do you need to communicate anything? Do you need anything to happen first? And if so, just give yourself permission to have that communication. Remembering we're doing this at the soul level, so you can either do it out loud if you're by yourself or just in your mind's eye. And if in this process, this visualization today, you can't get the resolution, just put that to one side and keep breathing and just know that that's okay for you to go that far today, to at least have the understanding that this is what was happening. Just check in with yourself, how you're going. And if you're okay, you can, and you're ready to receive back, you can now ready yourself for the return of this gift back to where it belongs, this essence of what you gave away, whether it was love, desirability, joy, whatever it was. Just keep breathing and prepare all of your cells in your body to receive this beautiful part of you that you know in your heart of hearts and in your essence that belongs to you. Just ready your cells up, really allow them to wake up and start vibrating. Just keep checking in to see if there's your body's ready to receive back. And at this point in time, you should be sitting at some distance with this person or place in front of you. So now checking in with that other person or place. What needs to happen for them to be able to release this back to you? Just let that happen now. Just trusting that the breath will support you through this process. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. And when you're ready and your cells are resonating at a faster rate, open your arms out to the side when you're really ready to receive this part of yourself back. And in one hand is the soul gift that you're bringing home, this part of yourself that's been missing for a long time. Just check to see if it's got a colour or a shape. And in the other hand, you're holding a portion of the universal divine white light. It's glowing, beaming white. When it feels right, bring your hands together. White lighting your soul gift and bringing it into your heart. Receiving it with unconditional love. Receiving what's rightfully yours and allowing yourself to fully and totally and unconditionally bring it back into your body. Breathing it throughout all the parts of your body. Feel it fully and totally. Really embody and acknowledge what is rightfully yours. It's found its home again after being gone for so long. This is all you. You're all one again. Fill yourself up, really filling your body up with what's been missing for so long. Feeling that emptiness that you may or may not even know was there. Allow it to fill. It's your gift back to you. It's sacred. It has returned home today to complete your wholeness. Allow it to fill to the edges of your skin. It may have a sound, a temperature, a colour, a sensation. Allow it to fill up the totality of your body. This beautiful re-gifting, returning to be part of you again. Just breathing through your nose, in and out. Allow yourself some time to integrate this beautiful re-gifting that you have given yourself. Allow yourself to feel whole and complete with it. This part of you that you own again. Feel nourished by what's truly yours. Embodying it all. Just knowing where this gift lives in you. Just noticing where that is. Allowing it to settle into its rightful place within you. Just keep breathing. Feel into how its return makes you more discerning about how you represent yourself again in the world, how you represent yourself to others, how you will show up in the world with this gift that's now returned. Breathe it in, embody it. Just taking a deep breath now and really own that this gift has fully landed in your body. It's part of you again. Just relaxing your breathing, integrating what's just taken place, and feel comfortable with the decision to be empowered by owning what's rightfully yours. When you feel ready, open your eyes, whole and complete. And if you feel like you've still got more to do on this and want to stay a bit longer just to really feel it, just by all means do that. Keep breathing and allow it to integrate into your body. If you feel like you want to pop a comment in just to let me know what was the essence of what you brought back, or some other comment, just to let me know where you're all up to. It's different doing this without seeing anyone's faces. Just letting me know when we get to a point where we kind of all landed a little bit more, I can wrap it up for the afternoon because I've only got 7 minutes to go. Yeah. Just letting me know. I don't know, I'm not seeing any comments come through. So because I trust the energy and I trust the breath and I trust the people that show up to work with me, I'm just going to trust that everything's okay. If you feel like you maybe something triggered in you and you want to have a chat, by all means call me or contact me through direct messenger through my business page, Breathe and Be You, and we can have a chat. So to wrap up, I'm hoping everyone's okay. Vulnerability and feminine. Beautiful, Maxine. Lovely. Security. Thanks, Steph. Great. How wonderful to have that back in your body. Those beautiful things. Yeah, so thanks so much. Calling back worthiness. More me to do with this and lots of layers. Yeah, Ness, hey, there are lots of layers. It's a bit of an onion peel. That was amazing. Thanks, Prue. Thank you. So just to wrap up, I'm happy. So like I was saying, I am writing a book on this. So I'm looking for 3 people to do to be the subject of case studies specifically around soul retrieval. So 10 sessions of it. And if you feel like you don't have 10 parts to come back, that's okay, because there's whole gifting and that kind of thing. my story is that I've had 7 major parts come back to me and live in here. My 9-year-old, my 4-year-old, my 9-year-old, my 19-year-old, my 14-year-old, my 21-year-old, my 46-year-old, and that's going to be part of my story. So those 3 people between June and August, 10 sessions, normally $27.50 for $1,500. So if you want to be part of that, and I know someone's already put a comment in. The other part is that, the other part is to, I'm having 20% off my Reclaim Your Spirit program, which has soul retrieval in it and really hones in on reclaiming that spark. And we do birth memory work, we do inner child work, we do past lives work, really whatever comes up for you. It's a really tailored program, and it's really about working with what you need right now. And I have a 20% off that program for anyone who wants to sign up for that. And you can opt into my mailing list for free and download a case study that I did at the beginning of last year, just really telling the story about how your past can derail your present. And it's a specific case study around a woman who was really out of sorts during COVID and was being triggered by everything COVID, and brought up an incident when she was 4 years old. So that's a really powerful case study. I'll put all this in the comments, and you can pick it up where you feel it works for you. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm trusting that you are trusting your breath in this, trusting your own body, and that you enjoy the experience as much as me. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon, people. And there's way more speakers to come, so make sure you tap into whatever's coming next. I'm not sure if there's someone else today, but maybe it starts again tomorrow. And the beautiful speakers that have been on before me, Maya Eagle, Donna Burrows today. There was also, Jess, Gabrielle, I know, has spoken already, Mary, everyone. It's a great, great summit. Talk to you soon.